Hey, how are you doing? I hope it's recording. 1 minute. Oh, yes, it is. So I'll try to keep this very short. I was watching a game of golf, and this time it featured one of the greatest athletes of all time, Steph Curry, who is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And he won this tournament. I think it's called the American Century Championship. He actually won. And he's pretty good at it. So, but I remember during the game, when they move from the golfers move from one part of the I was about to call it the pitch, but one part of the grass to another to make a different putt or whatever they call it. On his way, uh, there there was a crowd by the left side of the grass, and they gave him a basketball to make a jump shot. Now there was a basketball pole just a bit far off. Maybe let's say if they were on a basketball pitch, it's maybe mid court, halfway in the court or thereabouts. And they gave Steph Curry the ball, and he looked at it for 2 seconds, and just made the jump. What do you call it? The jump shot, and it went like boom, and it went into the net, and everybody was screaming in excitement, and he was, making his move and all that. And he made it look so effortless. It was just beautiful. And but what you don't see is that this highest paid basketball player, I think he's going to be the highest paid basketball player for the next 4 or 5 years with the contract he signed in 2021. I think he makes close to $60 million a year or something like that. What you don't see is his hidden price of greatness. Now, his training techniques is wild. Like during the season, during the basketball season, I hear after every practice, every day, he shoots between 3 to 500 uh, jump shots every single day. That's on season. Then off season, he does between 500 to 1,000 jump shots every single day. Every single day. This is aside his strength training, his diets. I hear he has something called neurocognitive training, where he trains with some kind of special goggles that that tries to distract him as he dribbles. Then he also trains with a light display system. So when the light display changes color abruptly at different times, he has to do a different dribble move. It is just crazy. So let's just take 500 shots every single day for a year. That's about 182,500 shots per year. This aside strength training, diets, training with magic electrical goggles, and a different a light display system that he uses to practice every single day. So Steph Curry is actually made off court, not on court. I hear Usain Bolt once said that I spent 4 years training for 9 seconds display. I spent 4 years training off the track just to display for 9 seconds. And then he said, and so many people give up when they don't see results after 2 months. Think about that. I spent 4 years training for a display of just 9 seconds in the Olympic or whatever. Then he said, but most people give up when they don't see results after 2 months. And I just wanted to encourage anyone who, if you're creative or a business person or person with a calling and you're doing your best, but you seem to be going unnoticed, I want you to know that this time of obscurity is very important because it builds resilience. What you're doing is important. Don't give up yet. Don't give up after 2 months or 2 years or 4 years. Think about Usain Bolt saying that. Think about Usain Bolt, probably by the time you calculate all the time he has spent on track in the display for the world to see, it probably cumulatively might not be up to an hour 30 minutes. But he's been training for what, 15 years, and now he will live his life probably rich till he dies because of that consistency he puts in training when nobody's watching. So if you have a gift, I want you to understand when nobody's noticing you, that is the time. When nobody's applauding and say, hey, go, you're the best, that is the time that you should applaud for yourself, because in that obscurity, you're building resilience, because your calling is greater than the applause. So in the obscurity, you're building resilience, you're building tenacity, you're building capacity. Because the universe will also test you to know that, are you doing this for applause, or are you doing this to make an impact? Are you doing this for popularity, or are you doing this for purpose? And by the way, who tells you that you're not making an impact? Let me ask you this. What do you think is the value of a life? Let's say you have a child, or you have a loved one, or somebody, or even if you don't have a child, you hope to have a child. Or let me even put it at you. What is the value of your life in dollar figure? What is the value of the life of your child? It's invaluable. So sometimes we equate greatness to having, you know, 500,000 people applaud us, or 10 million people watching your video on YouTube, or 6 million people buying your concert tickets, or 50 million people buying your books. But I want you to know that if you have one person, just one person, who could walk up to you and say, thank you for what you did, thank you for this talk, or thank you for this book, or thank you for whatever the purpose it is that the person received, and the person said, thank you so much, you've changed my life, you changed my life, I will never forget this day for the rest of my life, you have changed my life, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Can you put a value to that? So who told you that just because maybe 10 people bought your book, or only uh, uh, 19 people came to your webinar, or whatever it is, or the first day of your business only 7 people came, who told you that you are not making impact? Don't judge yourself by a false measuring system. When you make an impact on one person, when one person can say, you changed my life, do you know how valuable that is, or invaluable that is? When one life can say, because of you, my life has totally changed, thank you. That can keep you going more than anything. So just because millions of people are not reacting yet doesn't mean that you're not making an impact. And sometimes that impact could be on yourself, because your gift is first for you. Your gift makes impact on you before it can shape others. So the resilience in obscurity is shaping you. It's building that identity of that person that you already see that you will be. When nobody is applauding is when you come out and do it with all your power. And when you're faithful in that time of in obscurity, if you're faithful when no one is applauding, guess what? When people will be applauding, it will not really shake you. It won't really move you. You see it a lot of times when people go, especially in social media. It's really crazy when people do something that go viral, and then they start adapting to whatever it is that goes viral, and they don't get the results. You see people dip into depression and so many kind of things because they were living for the applause. They were living for the applause. And so in that obscurity, if you just keep going, you just keep going, you're faithful to the gift, you're faithful to the calling, you keep going at it, even when no one is applauding, even when no one is watching, even when no one is buying, even when no one is there to applaud you, you're building resilience. So that when they start applauding you, you know that they're applauding your gift. They love your gift, not you. So you don't derive your importance from the applause. Because people love your gift, not you. And once you can learn to separate that, when they start applauding and screaming, "You, we love you," you know that, listen, they love my gift, not me. But you built that tenacity, you built that resilience, you built that strength when there was nobody there. I saw, the easiest thing to do is talk. And I don't have anything against bloggers and podcasters. People just set up stuff and talk about the lives of people that are achieving things. And I don't know how I ran into this uh, Facebook post. No, I'm not on Facebook. I'm not actively on Facebook anymore. Anyway, so they were talking about this very, very big artist, music artist, who, up until 2, 3 years ago was putting out consistent hits every single year. He had 2 or 3 hits, and for like a period of 3, 4 years, he's not had any hit. And so this blog was, trashing this artist. Oh, he's failed. He's no longer, his career is dead. Blah blah blah. All the song he keeps putting out is not making it, to be a hit. And I was thinking about it, that what made him a hit in the first place is because he kept putting out consistent song when no one was applauding. When no one was applauding, when he wasn't signed, he was putting out consistent hits, consistent music year after year, albums year after year. Then he got into a period where he was signed and he became so big for a period of like 6, 7 years. And every year he was putting out consistent hit collaborations. And now, because he's had no great hits, the blog was talking trash about him. But here's the thing, hit or not, the guy is still putting out consistent music. Because how did he become the great artist that he is? It was because he was putting it out consistently when no one was applauding. So now that he's not making hits, he's still doing the same thing that got him there in the first place. And whether at one time or the other, he'll come back up. But I believe that that kind of person has built resilience in obscurity, and he's out there doing what he loves. So when you don't live for the applause, when you don't live for the notice, when it comes, you will still won't live for that, because one time it may go or reduce. But even in that, you're still consistent. You're still consistent. You're still going. So when Steph Curry comes out on the court and he's making all these crazy, I don't know the lingos for basketball, but when he's making all these crazy jump shots from mid points of the court and all, people are applauding, but they don't see the hidden price of greatness that he puts in consistently. I saw a website that because I had to read a bit about him so I can, feed you the right information. But the guy was talking about his a 24-hour in Steph Curry's life, and it is so disciplined from 6:30 or 5:30 when he wakes up till 10:30 when he goes to bed, because he tried to get 8 hours. He does this every single day. He's going to be paid $60 million for the every year for the next 4 or 5 years, aside his endorsement deals. The hidden price of greatness. So when nobody's there applauding you, you're paying the price. You're paying the price. I heard somebody say, pay the price now so you can pay any price later. In other words, do the hard work now so that tomorrow when you're big, you can buy anything you want. So pay the price now so you can pay any price tomorrow. So don't lose hope. Don't think that you're nobody because you don't have all the world applauding you. You're building resilience. Don't lose hope. What you have, nobody can give. Take it from me, because nobody has your experience. Nobody has your point of view. Nobody has gone through the same things that you have gone through. Nobody processes information the same way you do, and nobody can deliver your gift like you do. I like this saying that everything in the world that needs to be said has already been said. It's just not been said by you. So don't let the crowd dictate your gift. You dictate your gift. And when you do it in obscurity, you're honing your craft, honing your craft. The one day when you're in when you're out there, people will be like, "Whoa, this girl is good, or this guy is good, or this product is so good, or whatever it is." But they don't know that you've paid the price in obscurity. You've paid the price in the dark, the hidden price of greatness. So don't live for the applause. The applause will come, appreciate it. But understand that the same people that scream crown him can also turn the next day and scream crucify. So you build resilience when nobody's watching. You build resilience when nobody's there to applaud you. In the day where it is just you applauding yourself, and you need to applaud your damn self. You need to learn to applaud yourself. You really need to. You really need to learn to blow your own trumpet. I remember a friend of mine who is a great guy, but he's kind of cocky, but I love him. He's a great guy. So we're having a business meeting, a business launch, and he was talking about, I did this and I did that and I did this, and a lady who was part of the business launch now called his name and said, "Why do you like blowing your own trumpet? Let other people blow your own trumpet, not you." And he said, "Woman, the walls of Jericho fell down. The walls of Jericho came falling down when the children of Israel blew their own trumpet." I was like, "You don't." That's heresy. but but I mean, but learn even in obscurity and to encourage yourself to blow your own trumpet, to say, "I got it, I'm going for it." Because one day they will applaud you, but your character and your person will not be dependent on that because you've paid the price. And it's amazing that even though Steph Curry is one of the greatest basketballers, even though he's making so much money, even though now he can pay any price, he is still paying the price. So he's built that discipline to be consistent, whether he feels like it or he doesn't feel like it. And that is why he's always at his best. And for anybody who is great, he's always at his best. Because when it snows, when it doesn't snow, when it rains, when it doesn't rain, when he feels like it, when he doesn't feel like it, he's paying the price. So he can pay any price. So if you're in that stage right now, I want you not to give up. I don't want you to give up. I want you to keep going and keep going and keep showing up for yourself. 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 The more you do that, the more you are reinforcing the identity of who you want to be. The more you show up, the more the universe say, "I can trust this person." You know, Mike Murdoch said something that really inspired me. Mike Murdoch said that someone who is capable of blessing you is observing you right now. Someone who has the power to change your life is observing you right now. So when you're out there doing your thing, when you think that nobody notices, there might be a couple of people that are noticing. And the universe will say, "Help this person, empower this person, or come interview this person." And then they invite you to come and speak on a podcast that goes viral and everybody wants to, it can be anything. The other day I was talking about how Robert Kiyosaki, in his 25-year bestseller book Rich Dad Poor Dad, he said when he wrote the book, the publishers didn't want it. Nobody wanted to touch it. But he said he had to print 1,000 copies, and he put 12 copies in a car wash, um, and a car wash office or something, and it was there for 3 months. Nobody bought it. One day, one guy came and bought 12 copies, and after a few weeks, the gentleman called him and said, I represent one of the largest organizations that trains people to be entrepreneurs. I want to buy all your books. He said, how many do you have? He said, I have 900 and something. He said, I want all of it. One way or the other, Oprah got a wind of the book and invited Robert Kiyosaki to come speak on her show. This was decades ago. And from there, it sold millions of copies. So someone who is capable of blessing you is watching you. They might buy your book, they might watch your stuff, they might visit your office, whatever it is. But what would happen if you give up halfway? How would they find you? How would they find you if you stop now? How would they find you if you quit now? So build that resilience. When no one is applauding, keep going. Keep going when nobody's there to say, oh, you're the best at it. Keep going. Because in truth, you're the best at it. But you have to prove it to yourself. You have to prove it to the universe. Don't measure your accomplishments by the millions of people. True impact is one person at a time. You could have 10,000 people come for your events. Let's just use that. And they go say, oh, that was great, great, great. Oh, that's beautiful. But if one person out of 10,000 says, you changed my life forever. Thank you. I am this person because of you. I will never forget you for the rest of my life. You will remember that person more than the 10,000 people. Because that's compliment, that word will stay with you for the rest of eternity, because you touched one person. And what is the value of one person? Invaluable. You can't put a price to it. So that's all I wanted to say. Hope this hope this hope this blesses you. Hope this inspires you. Hope this encourages you. Hope this, you know, hope this builds resilience, because you will make it. You will make it. Just don't give up. Just show up. Show up every single day. Keep doing it. All right. Take care.